Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is a book haul comprised of my recent Barnes & Noble trip on the weekend of July 25th and 26th, and some books I got on Amazon and a book I got from Pango Books. It's basically my July book haul for this year. The first four I am going to show are books I'm showing in my next video, which will just be my Barnes & Noble book haul and trip, and that'll be next week. But the next 6 books, since I got 10 in total, I will discuss a little bit more in detail since I haven't shown them on this account before. So with that said, let's get started. First up is The Merry Adventures of Robin Hood by Howard Pyle. Next up is The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and Other Stories by Robert Louis Stevenson. Book number 3 is Dracula and Other Horror Classics by Bram Stoker. And book 4 is The Princess Bride by S. Morgenstern with an introduction by William Goldman. The next 6 books, as I said, are books that I bought on Amazon, except for one, which is from Pango Books, and I'll just mention that book when I get to it, since I have these in alphabetical order. First up is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. I got this because I am really interested in this book and its premise and its concept. It's marketed as a Romeo and Juliet retelling set in Shanghai in 1926. I'm not I understand the hype around Romeo and Juliet. I myself am not a big Romeo and Juliet person, but I understand the hype. As I said, I personally am far more interested in any retellings of Romeo and Juliet, since those for me tend to be more interesting than Romeo and Juliet itself. That might be sacrilegious to say, but I said it. Next up is Our Violent Ends, the sequel to These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. Again, it's a sequel. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this one. I don't know too much about this one, aside from the fact that it's a sequel and there's just same characters, another story. And the main reason why I got the sequel already, even though I haven't read the first book, is because I don't want the cover to change midway, because I like both of these covers. They're both so well done and they work so well together. Even the spines, I just knew that I wanted to have both of these books together. And these 2 books actually just came today when I'm recording this, which is really happy. And I had to reorganize my shelf a little bit to fit these 2 books. And you'll see that reorganization at the end of my video, like a little 10-second clip. Next up is Daisy Jones and the Six. I am currently reading this. I've just started it. I will say that the setup is throwing me off a little bit, but let's see if I like it and let's see if I think it works for the story. Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid is the one book I got from Pango Books. Next up is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I really enjoyed this book. I've already read it. I got this near the beginning of July. I read it. I enjoyed it for the most part. I think I gave it a 4 to 5 stars on Goodreads and Storygraph. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I'm glad I read it. And once I finish Daisy Jones and the Six, I am going to do a video where I talk about reading Taylor Jenkins Reid's big 3 books: Malibu Rising, Daisy Jones and the Six, and The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Next up is Love and Luck, the sequel to Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. I think Love and Gelato and Love and Luck were about on the same playing field, more or less, for me. I think I preferred this one a bit more than Love and Gelato because I've always wanted to visit Ireland. I love Italy and I want to visit Italy, but ever since I was a child, I've always wanted to visit Ireland. And this book just spoke to me on that level and spoke to the inner child in me that wants to visit Ireland one day. And lastly is Love and Olives, the 3rd book in Jenna Evans Welch's Love and... I don't want to call it the Love and Gelato series because it's 3 different things. Her Love and series. I'll leave it at that. With how much I loved Love and Luck when I was a child, again, I always wanted to visit Greece and I still want to visit Greece. So I think, hopefully, fingers crossed, this book will have the same effect on me as Love and Luck did, and I will enjoy this one just as much. But I just remembered that I also got some books on Kindle, and I'm glad I remembered them because I do want to count these books. I did get a couple of series through Kindle Unlimited since I recently subscribed to it. So first up is the Contemporary Mythos series by Carly Spade. So it's Hades, Apollo, Ares, Eros, Poseidon, and Zeus. And I had seen Zeus a couple of times on Instagram and I followed the author. Then I saw she did one on Poseidon, and Poseidon's my favorite god. I don't know why. Maybe I was a pirate in a past life. Like, that's why I like the ocean and I like the sea and I like Poseidon. I'm terrified of the ocean. And maybe that also links to a past life being a pirate. Anyway, so I saw that she did a book on Poseidon and then I was like, you know what? I want to give her other books a try and just read this whole series. So I read Hades already. I finished it last night and I loved it. I can understand why people don't like it, but I personally loved it. It was a great quick read for me. And I've started the second book, Apollo, so let's see how that book goes. Next up, also from Carly Spade, is the holiday series for her Contemporary Mythos books. So there are 5 of them. So Halloween, Yuletide, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's, and summer. I'm not sure what, maybe it's like a holiday vacation, you know? And also through Kindle Unlimited is The Gods Universe. I'm picking up a lot of Gods retellings. And this is by Alyssa Thorne. The main reason why I picked this one up is because there is an Anubis one. And Anubis is one of my favorite Egyptian gods. The last book through Kindle Unlimited is Chef's Kiss. And this is by Jarrett Melendez, Danica Brine, Hank Jones, and Hassan Otsman Elau. If I said any of those names wrong, I'm so sorry. But I'm really looking forward to this because I love cooking and I kind of want to read more fiction books that focus on cooking. And I bought 2 more Kindle books, not through Kindle Unlimited. First up is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. She's a very popular author right now, and I figured why not give a fiction book about readers and book lovers a try. So that's where this book came into play. And then I also decided to pick up Book Boyfriend by Chris Ripper. And again, I'm just trying out fiction books about book lovers, readers, etc. So we'll see if I like this one too. Fingers crossed. As usual, my book-related socials, Bookstagram, BookTok, Goodreads, Storygraph, Pingo Books, and Mercari are all linked down in the description below. Thank you all for watching and stay tuned for next week's video.